are two starting lines, north and south. We are south.
7 years ago, one family decided to travel to the 7 highest peaks of each continent, using only the power of nature and human force. Carrying with them an urgent message of global warming, they teach the world about our fragile planet and the changes we must make to protect it. So, at this moment, competing as the world's first ever Swiss boat in the notorious and prestigious Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race, the past 7 years of their journey are remembered, their struggles emphasised, and their amazement of getting this far realised. This moment was the start to a new chapter of their journey. They have overcome the first hurdles and with determination fought on to continue. This is that story, their journey from top to top.
When I was young, I was once really ill, so that the people thought that I will die in hospital. And after that, I was some kind of change, that I recognized what's really important in life. Already then, I saw that nature and the creation we have on this planet is something really fantastic, and I believe really that it's so important that also coming generations can enjoy this beauty. Since I'm a child, that I was always concerned about the environment and nature. I have had the opportunity to become a mountain guide, and I think that's for me still the best job you can have. You deal with motivated people, they will climb a mountain like Matterhorn. That's a lifetime experience, and they're so happy, so you can share their happiness. What can I do as a mountain guide to may help?
Dario went on to study geography and climatology, and continued his love and passion for climbing the picturesque mountains of the world. Then he met Sabine, but it certainly takes a special kind of relationship to survive what lay ahead.
We are now already married 7 years, I think. So I know this girl a little bit. I met her in a guide course, a ski touring course. She mentioned that she likes to cross Africa by push bike. And I thought, oh wow. Here I went to a big supermarket, getting big boxes, and we're painting them, and always smaller. And with the little one I wrote in that I love her. So it was, that was actually the start. I still believe I have the best wife on this planet. When you see what she has done also now on the expedition, she gave birth to Salina and Andri, our 2 little ones, 3 and 2 years old, and now she's pregnant again. I think she has done much more than I have done, and I didn't have to do children on the way. She was working as a nurse in the hospital, and after the first trial on the expedition in 2000, when we started the first time, but then we ran out of money and ended up again working in Switzerland. She was working then in Davos as a nurse.
It actually, being a nurse, that was actually my part to join in this expedition. because I saw it's global warming is not only about nature. I mean, we are part of nature, but I saw also a lot of different illness are now more here because of global warming. It's hotter or more rain or such things. This illness they develop more, or malaria comes more to the north. I saw that people are really infected straight away or with having water problems. Everybody is involved in this problem from global warming.
So, with a combination of two people, both dedicated to help the planet, they started to dream of a way in which they could unite to make a difference.
Wien and I, we were always involved with young children. We saw that when you like to motivate young children, you can do that much better when you tell them once the positive, because normally they have now in our society so much negative inputs in the news, in the media and so on. I think that does not help so much. We have met children, they already told us, look, why should we care? The earth goes down anyway. So I think when we are at that point, then it's really bad. Now after 7 years traveling, we have seen so many good examples and so many good projects and also the beauty of our planet, so that we are more optimistic than 7 years ago when we started the expedition. The concept is quite easy, that we talk about solutions, about good examples and show them really the beauty of our planet, and with pictures and film. The response of young people was incredible. Yeah.
So far, TopToTop has given presentations to over 32,000 people worldwide, but before they could even begin to think about visiting schools, there were many other challenges that lay ahead.
At the first place, there was only an idea how to talk about the positive, and we didn't know how we should do it, till we came up with the idea, let's go in all climate zones. And when you like to go in all climate zones, you cannot go only to Africa and Antarctica, you have also to go in altitude.
Throughout the expedition, they will sail 70,000 miles, bike ride 18,000 kilometres and climb 400,000 metres in altitude.
People understand, and it makes it also maybe a little bit more interesting when we talk about global warming in a school, when you can tell the story about the climbing, the sailing and bush biking. They listen much more carefully.
We try to teach, but also to show them and also to act.
So the idea had developed, and the first foundations of the TopToTop Global Climate Expedition had been laid. Finally, it looked as though their dream was coming together at last.
All together we were 20 people, friends of us, from France, Germany, Switzerland and Italy. Worked hard to get some sponsorship for half a year, and that didn't work out, so we've had no chance at all to get some sponsorship, because I think the expedition was so extraordinary that nobody believed us, and it was only on paper.
Faith was strong in those who knew them, and a close friend and climbing customer of Dario decided to donate the hull and sails for their vessel, and the rest of the team would pay 25% of the costs to create their yacht, which would soon be reborn with the name Pachamama, Incan for Mother Earth.
As soon as we got the boat, the United Nations Environment Programme was quite impressed, and they told us, okay, we'll do a letter, and you have our patronage. There's no money involved, but everywhere you go, you can show this letter and you may get help. Without this letter, I think we would not be here, so that helped so much in the past. So we started already about half a year later, after the club was founded, on Mont Blanc, on the highest peak in Europe in 2000. We bush biked to Saint-Tropez in France, and we went on the boat, started sailing, and we ended up in Ibiza in Spain with eating milk rice, no scent, nothing anymore.
Having a dream isn't always enough. It takes something more, an inner courage and strength of character to combat the adversities and keep putting that one foot in front of the other.
So we have to give up, and we hitchhike home to Switzerland, start working again as a guide and as a nurse. And that was a really hard time between 2000 and 2002, because we were only working, but we were able to keep the boat in this marina. We decided, okay, let's start with nothing. We have had 2,000 Swiss francs, and we started in Geneva, walking to the highest peak in each department in Switzerland, collecting good examples in all these departments. And with this material we went in schools on the way. We ended up after this loop again in Geneva, trying to get 2 mountain bikes that we were able to bike to the boat, who was then in Croatia. So it was quite a hard start. Finally, it was actually only possible because of people we met on the way, who helped us out with food and repairs, and step by step we got also material sponsors. They gave us some equipment to test. It took nearly 4 years till the first major sponsor, Victorinox, helped us out with money, and then when we came to Australia, another Swiss company, SGS. So we are quite happy now that we have Victorinox and SGS in the project, and like this we have much more time that we can spend for our activities with young people. So that's I think something really an important step to make the whole project much more efficient.
So it was never easy, but they still dedicated years of their life working towards something they believed was possible, even though the rejections kept pouring in and the money kept drying up.
The most important for us that we have still the motivation to do it is that we have our batteries filled up sometimes. The energy comes normally when we go into a school and see all the excited children, and then especially when they email us or do some nice drawings. So that's, I think, the most important thing also for us, that we see it makes sense, and then the motivation is there.
And the children especially make their drawings, how we could do better for nature, so they get inspired.
But visiting schools, showing their adventures, was only one aspect. They also needed to act, so they performed cleanups at every destination. So far, the TopToTop Global Climate Expedition has collected over 18 tons of garbage.
We have done cleanup with children up to 4,500 meters. So that's close to the height of Mont Blanc in Europe. It was in Ecuador, and we have had 2 camps to climb up there to reach this altitude. That was the garbage from other climbers we were collecting. For the kids it was just great to be in the newspaper, be the heroes bring garbage down from the tourist side of this mountain.
But living on a yacht and climbing dangerous mountains doesn't come without a cost. From nearly sinking after hitting a floating container, Pachamama has certainly been pushed to her limits. The wrong decision can have life-threatening results, so it's important to minimize the family's exposure to serious risks.
Already when we started, we always told the people it's really important to respect nature, and that's something what you learn as a guide very quickly when you like to become older. As soon as we see a risk, we try to minimize it, but it's also clear that when you do mountain climbing and sailing, you never can go to a zero risk, so there will be always a risk. And like this, I think we don't expose our children to more risk than somebody who's living in a big city like Sydney here, who has also to deal with the traffic and so on. So that's also a risk. Even when you work in an office, you have to survive. And there's always a risk. And I think it's more a question of listen to your stomach and to read the signs. Yeah.
After experiencing the reality of the effects of global warming, taking calculated risks somehow seems all the more worthwhile. As rising sea levels take their toll, Dario and Sabine must come face to face with the people whose lives have already been affected.
What was also hard was also to see the kids, for example, in the South Blas Islands. They're quite low to the sea level, and they really live totally in harmony with nature. And now they have to leave their island because and move to other islands. They're still above the sea level because of sea level rising, because there's so much ice now melting. And I mean, that makes you also some kind of sad when you see these children, they come up with wonderful ideas, they really live together with nature, in respect with nature, and then they have to suffer because we in the rich countries produce so much carbon dioxide. We hope that we really, with this kind of pictures, that we can shake the people a little bit in richer societies, that they understand that we really have to support these people, that they can adapt now to the new situation.
The emotional demands of the expedition often hit on a very personal level.
That's the biggest negative side on the whole expedition for me, to not have the family and friends, and I'm not a real good communicator by phone, and even when I need to communicate that sometimes they have night and so it's really, yeah, it's not difficult, it's difficult. On the way I always met really people, they help me out in situation. That's amazing. And yeah, I think that is one thing, and another thing is I just write my diary, which is my other good friend. Yeah. I think sometimes when I have so much sorrows and so much don't know what to do or what to decide, I just, when I look at them when they are sleeping, I just think, oh, that's really important, and that they are well. So it gives me again kind of, yeah, when they are healthy, it gives me another point of view. I'm not so, yeah, I think, well, it's really worth it to do something.
The biggest moment for us were really when Salina and Andri were born, and we are lucky now that we have had this wonderful experience in 9 months' time again.
Yeah, it's a little bit, it's also a challenge. I mean, we didn't think that we can have children on this expedition. We thought the whole expedition was going to take us 4 years. And then I thought, well, okay, 4 years it's good, I will spend these 4 years, but we saw very quickly that if we go in harmony with nature, it takes much longer. So now we are 7 years on the way, and we saw also that that's our wish to have a family. It was quite a hard decision if we should try it to have children, and we said, well, let's try it. And then we are really blessed with these 2 kids. A lot of challenge will also come because Selina needs to go to schools and so on, but I think we go step by step.
And so the TopToTop team continue to take their steps towards a better future.
The aim is actually that we motivate young people for the future of our planet. I think the challenge for our generation is now global warming. I think that's a great challenge, and it's not only something negative, there's a lot of positive things involved when you look at all the solutions and projects to promote all these good things, these examples to young people that open their eyes. I am actually much more optimistic than when I started the expedition, and so I'm quite glad that I'm still on the expedition, and I hope when we are finished in 7 years that we have done in our lives, when we were now as volunteers in this project, that we have done maybe one step in the right direction. That would be nice. It's actually absolutely not important if you do big steps or small steps. When the direction is right, then you will always arrive, and it's only a question of time, and this planet has actually time. So when everybody does a small thing, after he has seen that, maybe starting recycle or going once a week per bike to work or whatever, all these small things in the right direction counts, and then you will for sure get there. That's really a good feeling, that when you really see that we go in the right direction, this planet has a great future.
And so they continue, taking one step at a time, taking each challenge as it comes, and moving forward as a family, and as something more. But never do they underestimate the importance of their supporters.
Really, really thankful, and I don't know how to say that in English or in German and Swiss German. I cannot tell that, but I think for me it's really amazing the help we got since the first day. I cannot imagine one person who was really bad for us, and I mean 7 years we are on the way, and that worked only because we had people helping us, bringing us to a sponsor, or bringing us just a new radio system, or bringing us oranges from their garden. So it's really amazing, and I think I would like to show you all these people that on our way, they make it possible. It's not me, it's not us, it's just the people on the way, and I don't know how to thank them, because now we are always in the media and we are like that we did it, but it's not true. So it's the people on the way, and that makes me also just thankful, but I don't know if I can find the words.
Now, 7 years from when they first began, being able to compete in the Rolex Sydney Hobart yacht race just shows how far they have come and how much they have achieved. But they have only made it this far by respecting nature and not taking the risks which would compromise their entire expedition. So when reports started coming in of a low-pressure system in Bass Strait, Dario and Sabine were faced with another life-changing decision. Should they finish the race? Emotionally, this race signified the distance they have come and the capability of what can be achieved with a single dream. But to stay true to the values of their expedition, it wasn't worth putting Pachamama and the people on board in jeopardy for the emotional satisfaction of finishing the race. Like everything on this expedition, some things can be very challenging, and until their message is heard throughout every continent and they have reached each of the 7 summits, they will not give in, even though it isn't always easy. But sometimes fate provides rewards. Although they sailed back to Sydney, they found themselves sailing back just in the nick of time for some unexpected celebrations, signifying a fresh start and a new and exciting journey ahead.
To go to this to Everest. That is our next step, and to travel with a baby in India with bikes and with 3 kids. That's a challenge. I don't know how.